In this video, we're going to talk about the anime that generated expectations in 2023, with new seasons that fell far short of their previous counterparts. Some may have generated high expectations, resulting in notable disappointments in 2023. But before we dive in, I want to ask you to subscribe to the channel. We have a goal of reaching 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so help us reach this goal so we can bring you videos of even higher quality. Well, as the wise say, the key to avoiding disappointments is not to create expectations. Speaking of disappointments in 2023, we have a longer list than we would like. But of course, this is our team's opinion based on the common sense of the Twitter community. Feel free to disagree and share your opinion in the comments. Let's start with Kimetsu no Yaiba, a visually appealing and enjoyable season. However, after previous arcs, the narrative didn't fully meet expectations. Despite the quality of the animation, the script fell short, introducing characters that failed to captivate, and villains with intriguing designs at the beginning but lost impact as the story progressed. The conclusion, in particular, was predictable and didn't deliver the desired impact. Another anime that disappointed was Hell's Paradise, deceiving many viewers with its promises. The truth is, I don't know the original work, Jigokuraku. I only saw the beginning, the teasers, and watched the first episode, which seemed quite interesting. The protagonist had a different approach, albeit with a somewhat problematic side. However, episode 2, I think, was one of the worst episodes of my life. I'm exaggerating a bit, but it was really bad. From then on, things start to get more interesting, but only a bit. The beginning was dull, and I thought, where's the story I was seeing in the first episode? The character disappeared, as did the female protagonist accompanying him. Initially, she seemed boring, but the story revealed a plot twist with her. This frustrated my expectations because the universe seemed somewhat disjointed from what was being shown in the anime. The main characters, especially the villains, are basic anime character stereotypes. I'm commenting on the beginning of the story, but from what everyone has commented, this was the feeling until the end. It seemed like they had everything in their hands, but they threw it all away. The next anime, I would like to make it clear that it does not reflect my personal opinions, as I personally enjoyed Oshi no Ko until the end. However, the world did not share the same view, being shocked by the first episode, which many considered beautiful and wonderful. The surprise was so great that some even called for the cancellation of the rest of the series. However, the story unfolded differently, becoming more everyday by addressing the production in the music, video, and novel industries. Describing this, I realize how it can be interesting and good, leading me to question why people didn't like it until the end. Many people said that the characters fell short and that the story seemed one way but turned out to be another. It's not a masterpiece, nor do I believe it is, but I also don't see it as bad as some say. The next anime that was a disappointment for many people, not for everyone, but for many who were expecting it, was Black Clover. In fact, it was a letdown for many, especially for those accustomed to the production level of the first season. The anime couldn't maintain the same standard, with fewer epic magical moments, intense fights, and blood that were so prominent in the first season. The story of the anime is really good and engaging. It was precisely the plot that captivated fans of the work, but in the second season, the plot no longer captivated, as it was no longer a novelty. Attack on Titan, there's not much need to talk about because the reasons for disappointment were the same as those that disappointed in relation to the manga. Isayama decided to write this ending, I don't know, maybe tied to the chair, forced by the editor. Later, he sent a piece to the New York Times, explaining that, even if he wanted to change, it was too late, and he had to follow one thing or another. One of the most famous works of recent times, and he says he had no choice? For me, the ending of Attack on Titan was as disappointing as the ending of Game of Thrones. Some people like the fact that Eren died. That makes no sense to me. People consider it a disappointment, but I consider it one of the best of the year, which is Vinland Saga. Vinland Saga took many people by surprise because they were expecting an angry Thorfinn, a Thorfinn who would come with vengeance, who would come with all the fury of his ancestors. With all the anger he's been working on since the beginning of his life because of the revenge he wants to achieve. And then, he receives a farm life and work in the fields. The author had no shame in simply taking everything that people were expecting, sometimes mistakenly, and saying, brother, it's not about that. The story is about the exact opposite of this. This disappointed many people because they wanted to see the badass Thorfinn, wanted to see Thorfinn retaliating, wanted to see Thorfinn killing, Thorfinn disemboweling, Thorfinn stabbing from every angle, stabbing in the stomach, and a lot of action. But none of that happened. Christian Thorfinn turned the other cheek. Thorfinn has no enemies. Thorfinn wants to achieve peace someday, somehow, in some way. This left people sad, but personally, that's exactly why this season is one of the best of the year. And in the comments, let me know about anime that didn't make it, anime that were missing but disappointed you, whether at the beginning, in the middle, or at the end. Put it down below in the comments because I'm sure there are many others that can't be left out. And that's it. If you disagree with any that made it here, just like me, feel free to disagree.